Thank you so much. It's great to see you here again. Thanks as always to TYT Sports and to DailyDDT.com for allowing me to be here and let's talk more wrestling. And most of all, thank you to the people who actually watch and comment on these videos. I sincerely can't thank you all enough. After you watch this video, please comment below. And as you've seen on the previous versions, I will respond to every single comment because I have nothing better to do. But let's get right into it. So far, we have 3 matches set up for WrestleMania 32. We have the one everyone already knew about, which was the main event, Roman Reigns versus Triple H. But now we've got 2 more matches added to the card. And that is first of all, starting off with the return of the prodigal son this past Monday night on Raw. Shane McMahon made a surprise appearance on the show. Now, if you remember, a few years back, he was heavily involved in the invasion story angle when the WWE bought out the WCW. And then after that, he kind of disappeared. Well, we sort of got an explanation as to what happened to him, at least a storyline explanation anyway. And it turns out that Vince had approached Shane a few years ago and I guess was in some dire financial difficulties, kayfabe financial difficulties, I'm sure. And they apparently made some kind of deal and Shane still retained his power in the company, even though he wasn't around, much to the chagrin of Stephanie, who was out there supposedly receiving some kind of legacy award. But the bottom line is we had a really unique confrontation and the crowd was really into it. Everybody really wanted to see what was going to come of this. And so after this big face-to-face that Shane and Vince had, came the bombshell. And that was that Shane said he wants control of Raw. And of course, everybody flipped out because the Authority has been in power for 3 years now. And look, I love Triple H. I think he's a great heel, and Stephanie plays the great heel role perfectly. But every week, starting out the show with them and their really long segments, it's just gotten boring. 3 years is way too long for the Authority thing to be around. It's time to move on from that. So fans were more than excited at the potential of something new coming in. And that something new is Shane McMahon could potentially take over Raw. But here came Vince McMahon, of course, and said, well, if you want it, then you have to have a match, which Shane agreed to before at least knowing what the stipulations would actually be. And that match, number 1, is going to be at WrestleMania, and it's against The Undertaker, and it's a Hell in a Cell match. Okay, on its face, this all sounds really exciting, and the crowd went nuts for it, and I was admittedly pretty excited for it too, but then I started thinking about it a little deeper. Okay, Hell in a Cell, The Undertaker, WrestleMania. First of all, how is Vince going to coerce The Undertaker into doing this? If we're just neglecting storylines and saying, well, now Vince tells The Undertaker what to do, why on earth would The Undertaker agree to such a match? He doesn't pick and choose these matches at whim. He does it because of feuds with people, and he fights who he wants to fight. No one tells him who to fight. So I find it strange that The Undertaker has either agreed to this or will agree to it sometime in the future, and how they'll actually make that happen, hopefully we'll see in the coming weeks. Second of all, is this actually a match where The Undertaker will lose to Shane McMahon? If that's true, then that's 2 losses at WrestleMania. Now, to be fair, there's no more streak on the line. There's no title belt. There's no big brewing feud that's been going on for months. So this could just be 2 guys fighting with really nothing on the line except the fate of the company. But that would mean that Undertaker is fighting to keep the Authority in control. Is he simply indifferent to the Authority's reign, or is he going to turn heel sometime between now and WrestleMania? We'll have to find out. And the third thing I had to ask is there really a way that Shane O'Mac can win clean against The Undertaker? I don't think so. He's a McMahon, so something shady has to go down. My prediction, mark it down as of today, go ahead. I think that John Cena will be involved on Shane McMahon's side. Now, yes, this would mean Cena having to face The Undertaker and maybe be looked at as a bad guy for fighting one of the most beloved wrestlers in the WWE. However, you have to understand the stakes. It is for control of Raw. It's to get the Authority out. And John Cena has definitely had his run-ins and his problems with the Authority. So him aligning with Shane in order to make sure that the Authority is deposed makes complete sense from a storyline perspective. Now, there has been absolutely no indication that that's going to happen, but there's been rumblings that Cena is doing everything he can to take part in WrestleMania, and that's about the only way I see him doing it. I don't think he'll be healthy enough to wrestle in a full-on match, but interference is certainly possible. The second match that was announced on Raw was a Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar street fight type match. Now, I think this match is a consolation prize because the main event of Roman Reigns and Triple H, which was solidified at Fastlane when Roman Reigns won, everybody knew this was coming. It's been no surprise to anyone that Roman Reigns is going to be in the main event at WrestleMania. Oh, spoiler alert, he's also going to win. There's no way Triple H wins this match. No way. It's a lose-lose for Roman Reigns, and here's why. If he does lose, if for some reason somehow Triple H retains the belt and wins at WrestleMania, that means that Roman Reigns is now 0-2 at WrestleMania, and that means that all this buildup, all of these other matches, all of these people who've been buried in Roman Reigns' way, it was a complete waste of time. Then it built up to nothing. 2 years worth of work resulted in a loss at the biggest show. That doesn't make sense. And on the other side, if he wins, then it's predictable. It's the exact outcome that people have imagined. This is WrestleMania. This is the main event at WrestleMania for the biggest prize in the company. And the outcome is almost assured. That's the worst thing you can be, is predictable, even in a business like sports entertainment. But we'll have to see if that's how it plays out. And that's why I think that the Ambrose and Lesnar match is a potential show stealer, but I think more than that, it's a distraction. I think the WWE already has a sense that people just overwhelmingly don't like Roman Reigns, and they've said, well, look, this is going to happen, so y'all just have to deal with it. So here, they're going to be disappointed in the main event, so let's give them some matches that they will at least love. Here's Shane O'Mac and The Undertaker, and here's Brock Lesnar and the fan favorite Dean Ambrose in a match that actually favors Dean Ambrose, a street fight, which means that he can pull all the dirty tricks he wants. There's no disqualification, and I hope they do an old school style street fight like they used to do, where they're out in the back, they're in parking lots, they use props, they're using anything and everything just to tear each other to pieces. And while Brock Lesnar certainly has the physical advantage, at least in this type of no holds barred match, Dean Ambrose can at least level the playing field a little bit. So we'll have to see how that actually plays out at WrestleMania. So those are our 3 confirmed matches so far. I'm sure there'll be more. There's a tag team match will undoubtedly be announced in the next few weeks. Same thing for a Divas Championship. And then all the other fillers. Remember, this is a 3+4 hour show kind of thing. So there is a lot of stuff that is going to be filled. WrestleMania it's the Super Bowl of the WWE. It's the best show of the year. So what else? What other surprises are we going to get thrown into? I hope a lot more. And I think all of these are unfortunately going to be trying to mask for the fact that it's a terrible and awful main event. Maybe the WWE will surprise us and do some kind of trickery and pull a fast one and change the main event, but it's highly unlikely. They're going to push Triple H and Roman Reigns, and go ahead, you heard it here first, or probably second or third. Roman Reigns is going to win and be the champion. And hopefully with Shane O'Mac at the helm of Raw. Now, with that going forward, maybe they can at least do something else and try to get the people behind Roman Reigns. But it remains to be seen. Well, that's all I got. Stay tuned for more of these videos. Again, with your support, they will definitely keep on coming. Follow me on Twitter at Chief Joshiola. You can also follow any and all wrestling articles from myself and many other talented writers at Daily DDT. So, till next time, thanks again.